Hi, this is Celeste. I'm a nationally certified interventionist. I'm a family coach and I'm also a recovery coach. And I'm here to talk to you today about why it's so hard to allow someone in active addiction to experience their own consequences without rescuing them. And this is super, super difficult for a lot of family members or loved ones of someone in active addiction. And the reason it's so hard is because we legitimately want to help people that we care about or love, and we want to help them out when we see that they're struggling. So it can be super hard to let them fall on their face when they're in active addiction, whether that be financially or with a job or not having a place to stay, or if they're struggling to pay their bills, or heaven forbid they end up in prison or jail. It can be hard to not want to bail them out or rescue them from that situation, because we do care and we do love them, and we want to see what the best for them. And when we love someone, we genuinely want to help them. So it can be very, very difficult to take a step back and to not help or not try to rescue them from that behavior. And it almost seems counterintuitive to us as human beings to not want to step in and help out. So it can feel like we're being harsh or inhuman to not want to help somebody. But oftentimes when we continue to rescue people in active addiction from the consequences of their behavior, it's actually making their situation worse, and it's actually more detrimental than it is helpful. So when we have someone in active addiction that's experiencing consequences, sometimes we do need to take a step back and let them feel the pain of those consequences, to be a motivator to help them get to a place where they realize that this addiction is no longer serving them, because the consequences of that addiction is so painful. And I want to make it really, really clear that the intention behind doing this needs to be really, really clear. So when we refuse to help somebody or enable somebody in active addiction, we need to be very careful that it doesn't come across as punishing or judgmental. And we want to let the person know that as much as I love you, I can't help you sidestep the consequences of your negative behavior. And these, when we refuse to help and when we refuse to step in and rescue them from those negative consequences, it's really important that we don't do so out of judgment or a place of anger, which, I mean, it's very hard to not be judgmental or resentful or angry in these situations or frustrated. But we really need to let the person know that we're doing this because we love them. And while we might be angry, it's really important to keep those feelings in check. Because if we communicate those feelings of anger or frustration in a negative way, it can really serve to alienate that person and can really break that line of communication. And we do want to keep that communication open for when they're ready to go to treatment, when they're ready to get well. We want to try to leave ourselves in the position of continuing rebuilding that relationship when they're in a place where they're healthy enough to do so. So we want to be really aware of not saying things that we're gonna kick ourselves in the butt for later. So, but I really get that it can be difficult to not say things in anger and resentment and frustration when that person's in active addiction, because, I mean, if you're like me and you've had loved ones in active addiction, it's very painful to be on the receiving end of some of those consequences, whether it be verbal abuse or physical abuse, feeling taken advantage of, being manipulated, all these different kinds of things. So we do want to be very careful about how we approach these situations, so that we can leave that door open for the potential for future relationships, where we can start to build healthy relationships instead of this dysfunctional, manipulative, codependent, enabling relationship. If you want to get more information on my family coaching program that will help you start to work through some of these issues and how to start navigating boundaries and codependency and enabling, and really truly starting to engage in behaviors that are going to help this person rather than hinder their recovery. You can check out the caption below, and there will be some more information. There will also be an application for my family coaching program that you can apply for. So make sure you apply for the program. I'll look over your application, and then we can get on the phone and have a talk about your individualized coaching program. Each program is individualized for each person, because I understand that not everybody's journey to this point has been the same. So I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of this program. So that's why I make sure that they're customized. So I look forward to seeing your application, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. Have a good weekend, everybody.